Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
So glad that we are in this space together at the same time.
I feel God in his chilies today.
Honestly, same.
The spirit is in my bones.
I wish I didn't use that reference as much as I do.
It's so good. I think at this point it's sort of detached from the original media source that I think it's cool again. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think it's applicable enough that you're just like, oh, that's just a funny thing that people say on the internet.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know that I would consider myself one of those people that, like, I think, like, The Office is, like, part of my personality trait.
Sure. Yeah.
But I do think that part of my vernacular is saying, like, I feel God in this Chili's tonight. And also, like, how the turntables, like...
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's just, like, I don't know. That's just who I am, I guess.
What are you gonna do, you know?
I mean, absolutely
Is that a
nothing.
crime? Is that a crime?
If it is, I don't mind being wrong. You know? That's just where I am, you know?
And that's how the cookie crumbles.
You know?
Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, it's just, honestly, that's just me. And you're just gonna have to deal with it, you know?
Yeah, you should never apologize for it.
I am just living my truth.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that just means that sometimes office quotes are part of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And thank you for listening to this confessional today.
Do 7 Hail Marys and get the fuck out of my view.
Okay. Thank you. This has been a 2-minute podcast. I'm not even going to even introduce that this is Into the Twilight. I'll just step out and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Great. Honestly, I feel more and more as we've delved deeper into this podcast, as we get closer and like creep closer and closer to the 3 years, that this space has become more and more like a confessional each week for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, it's like Says Who, the podcast we recently had a little advertisement on. So if you're from there, what's up? But they say it's not a podcast, it's a coping strategy. And I believe it. I relate.
More and more, I mean, it always comes back to, like, when we started this podcast, right? Of, like, every time I think about, like, what this podcast is for me, it has and always will be a distraction from, like, present day for me. So yes, I hard agree of, like, this is a space where I don't, yes, we bring in current events, but this is a space that for me feels like a vacuum. Like, it is separated from reality, and I just get to, sorry, was that your inner soul peeking through? What was that noise?
It was just the ghosts in the cupboard.
Honestly, that's fair. If that was how all ghosts were, I would be more scared of them.
Sure. Because if a ghost just sounded like a faint kazoo.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would just, like, I'm used to, like, deep breaths and, like, walking in cold rooms, but if they were just, like, interrupting my podcast when I'm just trying to live, like, I'd be more annoyed.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Cody, how the fuck are you doing?
I'm good, man. I got a library card today, so
Whoa.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Welcome.
It's really about hot book summer, you know?
Honestly.
And also, I had a library card, but I forgot to renew it, and I moved, so I'm like, let's just get a new one.
Fair.
And here we are, having a great time.
Love that. Love that for you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
How are you, my dude? Thank you.
You know, August
Bad
is...
start. Not a very uplifting start.
August is, it's a month.
Sure, yeah.
August as a teacher is just, like the perpetual Sunday night feeling of like every day feels like I'm forgetting about something. And that something is like, I'm getting closer and closer to having like school again.
Yeah. It's that Christmas creep, baby.
Yeah, except for the Christmas creep is like, ooh, all of the like hard work I've done this summer to like set up healthy coping strategies are just like them's be creeping just farther and farther away. It's good. August is just like is hot here, but it's good. I feel like I'm just been reading, just been living. Went this weekend to go see, well, not even this weekend, on Monday, went to go see the Banjo Boys, otherwise known as Mumford and Sons.
Sure, yeah,
which was,
I'm familiar with the Banjo Boys.
Which was very nice. So that was a great time. I haven't been to a concert in a minute, which was nice. So,
wow,
just been good. Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, not been too bad, I would say. Yeah. Just, it is back to school time, which is, as a teacher, is just so triggering. It's just, I love the school supplies, but also I'm just like, can I live? So it's all good. We have a couple of current events to talk about. And I guess since you did mention, our ad spot here, if you are new to this space, we don't talk about the current events that you might see on Twitter, usually recommended to you.
Yeah.
Things that are soul-sucking, things that might cause you anxiety, things that might cause you stress and keep you up in the night. Instead, we talk about things that will give you heart palpitations in the form of cute people, and also distressing authors who do whack shit.
Yep.
So, and the more that we talk about it, because of how technology works now, they will just be more and more recommended to you. So just as long as you accept that, these are the type of current events that we are recommending.
Welcome.
Yes. First and foremost, Cody thankfully was hot on this beat and put this breaking news on our Twitter quite a while ago, but we did not talk about it last week because we had so much to say.
Yeah.
Cody, I'll kind of tee you off for this and you can take over, but Dakota Johnson had some changes.
Yeah.
To her face situation. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you all for coming. We're here together to mourn the loss of Dakota Johnson's tooth gap. May she rest in peace. Gone but not forgotten. She did a great service. But she's no more. She decided to fix her teeth. And people on Twitter have been having a very good time with this. I think we've all been mourning collectively, but also, like, out of that, a phoenix rises from the ashes, and that turns into memes.
I love it so much.
Yeah, so people have been tweeting about her tooth gap, about that one Vanity Fair video where she just puts a bunch of credit cards in her tooth gap. It's just so good. And also one of them was like, oh, it's really sad that Dakota Johnson isn't a tooth cap anymore, because that's important representation, obviously. So the new one is that girl from Euphoria, which made me very happy. So now we just have another line in the tooth gap canon.
Yes.
I think it's great. But yeah, R.I.P. Pour one out,
What I love is, so I found this out from your beat work, truly, your journalistic work on our
on the ground reporting,
from your work on our Twitter, which was retweeting this fucking like video from,
it's like remembering a life.
Yeah, it's this like fucking celebration of life video from someone on Twitter, and it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It looks like someone just made like a scrapbook.
Yes.
About the video of her tooth. It's so funny.
Oh my god. And so I'm looking at this article from The Cut, and the title of this kills me. It's like, World Grieves After Dakota Johnson's gap tooth goes missing. And it's like, it's not like kidnapped. It's just like she just got it fixed.
Where is it?
Like,
what happened?
Listen, she looked great before. She looks great now. But I do think that it was something that I considered like iconic about who she was, that I do think is, it will be missed for sure.
Yeah.
So, pour one out for sure. But I don't know that it will come back, because that does feel like an expensive temporary choice, I would say.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's missing in that sense, for sure. I want to briefly talk about this Milo bit, and then we can end on our oh so sacred screen rant piece here. So, Milo Ventimiglia, my love, my life.
Yeah.
My love, my life, my wife. He is currently doing some press right now for this fucking weird ass movie. It's called like The Art of Racing in the Rain or something.
That's it. Yeah.
And I haven't thought about it since I saw like the first trailer. And I remember seeing it in theaters because I just started like crying. I just started like sobbing because it's Milo, it's like Amanda Seyfried, Kevin Costner is like voicing the dog, and so like of course I'm gonna start crying. And so I think he's doing press for this or something, and during this thing he was told apparently, or like he was asked about RPATs and like Batman. He said he's like super excited for RPATs and stuff, but then I found out that apparently he was told during this whole process of like being like, wow, Batman was still up in the air, that I guess he had thought he wanted to try out for it. And this article from Cinema Blend says, like, despite his star power and immense physical fitness, he was told he was too old for the role. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, Milo Ventimiglia is not old.
Yeah. He's father time.
Yeah. And now, first of all, like, he is 42, but he doesn't look 40. Like, he's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
And also, like, Ben Affleck was Batman,
Come
so
on.
it's fine. But I do love that he was like, our Pats will be great, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, I do love that. I just love the fact that, like, that was the conversation that was happening during this press, so.
Yeah.
Love that for him. So we do have a Screen Rant Corner this week.
Pew, 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 pew.
Unsurprisingly. And this one drew my attention more than usual because, as you mentioned earlier, it does look like there was some work put into this.
Right.
And that doesn't always happen.
No.
With these. So thank you to Amanda Bruce for putting out this work literally yesterday. And it is Hogwarts Houses of Kristen Stewart characters.
God bless.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, K-Stew.
Yeah.
Thank you, everything. When looking through this list, what immediately drew your attention? What surprised you? I want to know everything.
Yeah. I would say that I think there's a lot of Gryffindor representation here.
Yes.
Which I think is interesting. I think it's valid for the most part. I do think pining Joan Jett in the Runaways as a Gryffindor is a choice.
It is something, that's for sure.
I don't know if it's the right one, but I respect it, I think.
Yes. Yeah, they do say here, like, could Joan Jett be anything other than a Gryffindor? And I would say yes.
Yeah, arguably yes, for sure.
Arguably yes.
Yeah.
That was one that definitely drew me right away.
Yeah.
Just looking at all of these, I'm like, God damn, she's done so much good work.
Right,
Like,
she's doing it.
sometimes I forget about, like, Camp X-Ray, and then I look at it and I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and even, like Melinda from Speak, don't know that I would say a Gryffindor.
Yeah, that's also a choice.
Like, not...
I mean, I get it, because it's like, she was brave, right? But, like, I mean, I feel like that's just really it, huh?
But, like, not everyone that does, like, one brave thing is a Gryffindor.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
so...
That's it. That's your brand now. You're brave.
Yeah. But then, like, you look at Sarah Altman from Panic Room, and it's like, yes, Gryffindor.
Right.
Got it.
For sure.
I understand. And so, and then, oh, God, like, looking at the aesthetics here from Catch That Kid, and I'm like, okay, got it. I am very interested. So they do number 1 here, and they have Bella Swan as a Gryffindor.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like there's a lot of discourse around this. Of, like, yes, she is brave. And I feel like, if anything, my time on Tumblr, throughout a lot of my high school experience, like, this was a very common conversation here.
Sure, yeah.
What placement do you feel like Bella would fit under?
I would say probably either a Gryffindor or a Ravenclaw. TBH.
I would agree.
I think, like, I don't know, she has moments where she's, like, very gutsy and very just, like, fuck it. So in a lot of ways, maybe it's a little bit, like, irrational or just, like, not really thinking about things super before doing them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, she's smart. She's a smarty.
Yeah, she does have a lot of, like, Ocean's 11 stuff to her.
Yeah.
And I feel like as much as she wanted to present as Ravenclaw, I feel like her, like, Gryffindor side was kind of tampered growing up as, like, a survival skill.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, but I mean, she did a lot of shit, right? That was, like, very Gryffindor. So I feel like the placement for this one is definitely correct.
Yeah.
So I think it is accurate. I think they made a good choice on the one that arguably for this conversation counts the most.
Yeah.
So good on them.
You did it.
You did it. You've done it. Good job. We have a question this week.
Woo.
Would you like to read it?
Yes. If you could replace one character from You with the 50 Shades character, who would it be and why?
Oh my god. Do you think we should stick to main characters?
But if we do that, that's no fun.
I know. I know.
No one from 50 Shades is... Like, the main characters are good.
I think then... Okay. I then would be very interested in replacing... Oh, God. Okay. This is tough then. Because none of them are great then.
Okay. I think I have an idea.
Okay, go. Because I'm debating this.
This is my crackpot theory.
Okay.
Replace Joe, obviously. Fuck
yes.
Get him out of there. If he was gone, this would be better. With, what's her fucking name? Anna's roommate.
Catherine?
Kate, yeah. Kate Kavanaugh. That'd be great.
Yes. Yeah.
She, like, still works at a bookstore, still likes books, or whatever. But it's no Joe. You know?
Would she...
I think a lot of things would fall into place here, you know?
Okay. So, would Kate then be the... I don't even know that Joe's the, like, protagonist, but, like, would Kate then be the main character of the series?
Maybe. Like, I think that would be interesting. But also, I think Beck could be maybe a protagonist. I don't know. She's got a lot going there.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, fuck.
There.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kate would definitely fit in with Beck's friend group a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like, chase down some pickle juice or whatever.
Oh my god. Yes. Yeah, no, I feel like that's the one that makes the most logical sense. So, because the one that I was thinking of immediately was replacing Kate with Blythe, but then the dynamic doesn't really work.
Sure.
So I think replacing with Joe ultimately, well, I mean, saves Beck's life. So yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have another question.
Yes.
It was on our Twitter, and I think it might have been missed.
Oh, okay, go.
But I'll read it. It's
Please.
from Miss Browntown.
How did I miss it?
I know, it's fine. Listen, it was a blur. But she says, I want to know your thoughts on what song Edward and Bella would audition for with Glee Club.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yeah. Just
Like present day?
Off the dome. Top of the dome.
Okay. I just didn't know if you meant like back then.
Whatever. Whatever feels right, you know?
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, first of all, you didn't do your work because I texted you something to remind you.
Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
Okay, but no, this ties in perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I texted Cody. I don't know when. Oh, okay, I was on Monday. I was like, don't let me forget for Wednesday. Nessie and Glee. Okay, so, but this ties in perfectly. Taylor, I'm answering your question, I promise. So, I'm gonna get there. No, I'm gonna get there, I promise.
Trust us.
I'll get to Edward and Bella in a second. But audition song for Nessie and Jacob, they would definitely sing Me by Taylor Swift and Brendan Urie.
Oh my god.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, that's correct.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Correct. I wish I could, but I can't.
Okay, are you imagining, and I know you didn't ask this, Taylor, ask this question, but do you think that they would sing solo songs, or do you think that they would sing a duet?
Knowing them, they'd probably do a duet.
Okay.
I feel like. But I think there's a potential for solos here.
Okay. Okay, because I feel like Edward... Because if we're thinking about songs like right now, I feel like Edward could probably get away with doing like a Billie Eilish song.
He's just an e-boy.
Exactly. Like, he literally is an e-boy.
Yeah, because he would have a good time doing it, but Bella would be like, fuck this. The only way she would do it is, like, if it, like, he made her do it and they did, like, a duet or something. Otherwise, she'd be like, fuck this, fuck you.
Yeah, I feel like if he had to do a solo, I feel like he could do a Billie Eilish song.
Sure.
And what would Bella do that's like right now? I'm very bad about keeping up with like current
Who's
songs.
making music?
Honestly, I'm so bad about like.
She could maybe do like a Casey Musgraves moment.
Ooh, that's true.
She's sort of from the South.
She's literally from Arizona.
She's from the Southwest.
She could do that, hold on. Chris!
Oh, no.
Chris! Oh my god. You might be able to help me with this, because my boyfriend has selective hearing. I tell him not to listen to me, but then I, like... You might be able to help me, though, while I'm waiting for him. Do you remember... the Casey Musgrave song, it's the Casey Musgrave song that's like my least... Hey, do you remember the Casey Musgrave song that's my least favorite? The one that you love? What is that?
High Horse.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Why do you hate that song?
Because, Chris, why do I hate that song?
Because you hate fun.
Get out of this room. Thank you, love you. No, it's just, Chris played it like all last summer.
Sure. But
And
it's a bop.
it is a bop. It is definitely a bop. But yes, I feel like if Bella would definitely sing that song.
Yeah.
If they had to do one together, I feel like they would definitely be a like Angus and Julia Stone moment.
Oh, sure.
They would do something like very insufferable, like slow, look in your eyes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or they would
Just
do
painful eye contact.
Or it would be like super meta and they would do the fucking Christina Perri like a million years.
Oh my
Like it
God.
would just be so on the nose.
Yeah. It's like, just give it a rest. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, they would just do the like fucking 1,000 Years song. What do you think that they would do for their duet?
Ooh, I don't know. Like, now I'm just thinking about the High School Musical, like, opening duet thing, and I'm like, that'd
Literally.
be too much.
I would want
I
to see
feel
them
like
do
if they're
Box to the
having
Top.
fun, like, I think if, like, Bella loosened up a little bit, maybe had a bev or two, they could do a cute little "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" moment.
Aww.
But,
Yeah.
you know, just to... They're like, it's been a few years, they're hanging out, we're just having a good time.
Can you imagine them doing it like an ABBA song?
Aw, yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't do it. That'd be very much like an Alice and Jasper kind of thing.
Oh,
But...
for sure. Yeah,
Um,
Carlisle is like, hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
I
God.
miss Glee.
You're so embarrassing.
I just miss it so much, and it's
Yeah.
such a bad show.
Yeah.
I remember seeing someone a couple days ago on Twitter, just showing the clip. It was one of the songs from like when fucking what is his name, Ernie. The dude in the wheelchair, when they're singing the song by the pool and he just like throws himself into the
yeah.
pool. And they were like, y'all watch this? It was just
Cinema.
yeah, I was like, film. I love this. Listen, it's fine. I love that show. I love trash. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, that's...
Speaking of trash, we should get into these really shitty chapters.
Hell yeah, brother.
So where we left off last week was the very unnatural segue of Ethan and Blythe being set up.
So bad.
Super subtle. And then Beck deciding to work with Joe. And also
Right.
Christmas.
Yes.
Super great.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So chapter 7, Chapter 27 starts. And Joe is like head over heels, super in love. This is where I imagine the like Scrabble thing happening in the TV show.
Yeah.
What did they call themselves on the Scrabble? It was like a everything ship, I think.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
awful.
It was like, this is like very much the honeymoon period, I feel like.
Right.
He's like, we're an adorable couple. We don't go on any dates because we're just like together all the time. And that's just like what romance is. And he's talking about how like when they're working together, they like playfully argue about the music and it's super sexist, but he likes it. And of course Beck likes it. So it's like super great because that's what love is, folks. It's great.
Yeah, love it. Huge fan.
Super great. He says that they're just one of those 1950s couples. So they're racist too, I guess? Who's to say? He keeps talking about his Holden Caulfield cap, which is great. He also brings up the fact that like all of a sudden Ethan and Blythe are going on dates. So that's a thing, apparently.
Sure.
And apparently also during this work time, there's this like magic chemistry that they have, and all Joe can wonder about is like when this is going to turn into this like magical sex session that's going to happen. Right. And he's like, this is special because you say it's special. And every day is Christmas and all this stuff. Anyways, one day, I guess, Beck shows up in literally he describes as a gray, slouchy sweater that is also apparently slutty. And he freaks out on her.
Yep.
Because she's eating baby carrots and that like gives him a boner and he's like
what the fuck?
Yeah. And he like freaks out and all of a sudden tells her like there's a dress code because you're not allowed to wear sweaters apparently. So he literally like makes her leave and change.
It's so fucked up. Like, she's wearing a brown sweater. like the university brown, not the color. It might be also brown, who knows.
Who knows?
But he's like, this fucking bitch is trying to make all our customers feel shitty because they didn't go to Brown.
It's such bullshit.
It's like, motherfucker, every second of your life, you are judging everyone that comes into your store. Because they're not reading smart enough books, they don't look like they read, or they don't give a fuck, you know? So
I love it too. Bitch? Yeah, because he's like, think about this like school, Beck. You wouldn't go to school in this. And she's like, Joe, I literally just came from class. Like, I couldn't... I don't know what more you want me to say about how this is school appropriate. So he's gross and continuing to like sexualize her and all this stuff. And apparently he also tells her like, go home, cover up, and like cover up your collarbone and all this stuff, and make sure that when you come back you actually like put a bra on. And he's like making it like gross. Anyways, then she's all like you pick the color, like whatever. Anyways, he's helping out people and all this stuff, and finally, I think this is the part too where he like decides to go downstairs and be Joe, and is like, you just looked too good. I have to like. He even says, he's like, I take the opportunity to go downstairs and beat one out. It's like, fuck off, Joe. You're so gross. And also, Beck apparently is the kind of person who texts someone knock knock. So maybe these two are made for each other.
So maybe they should just both jump into a volcano.
Yeah. But apparently she is also enjoying this kind of situation, because now she's like flirting with him and sending him photos of like her in her bra and whatever. So they're like flirting and stuff. When she gets back, they are like, when she gets back, it's like late, like they're about to close or something. And so he's like having a freak out. And apparently Joe has gotten to the point now where like all he has is Twizzlers around him, which to me makes it seem like he's more of a predator than he is, of like,
right.
Don't trust this dude at a bookstore who only eats candy. But
this man just like is really into Twizzlers. Like every time I'm in there, he's just hogging down Twizzlers.
He just has really poor taste in licorice. But now, like, Beck gets back, it's late, she's, like, enjoying this, like, flirty power dynamic thing, whatever, like, live your truth, the two of you. And then, so, like, they fuck, is basically what happens.
Yeah.
So chapter 28 starts, and Joe says, I've just fucked you for the first time in our lives. And it was not good, and it did not go on forever, and you did not scream. Great. So we find out, like, they're downstairs in the cage, aka, like, in the, like, book section. And this is the beautiful moment where we find out that, like, the 8 seconds situation has actually happened.
Ayo, thank God.
Thank God. I was
only
waiting. Yes. And it's so good, because Beck is definitely doing the thing of like, oh, it's fine. But so he like goes through the situation in his head of talking about it, and it seems like for the most part, like, you know, they were enjoying themselves. It was fine. But Joe just like couldn't keep it together. And finally Beck says something and is like, oh, don't worry, Joe, like, I'm on the pill. And this is the part where he, of course, like usually happens, he deflates and is like freaking out, and he's like, this is the moment I was most afraid of you and what you could do to me and not do to me, because that was the moment that I realized that you are the boss, not me. And you can please me on the occasion if you want to. And it's like, okay.
He's, out of nowhere, he just busts out all this, like, Dom shit. I don't know, like, where it came from, but he's just like, yeah, I'm the fucking boss, man. Like, I'm gonna boss you around. Even though he has no grounds to be on here, because he literally cummed in his pants.
Literally.
Like, so fast. But he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you fucking want me. I'm gonna push you around, and I'm gonna dominate you. Meanwhile, a scared little dog just in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's leaning on that because, I mean, one, he's, like, built up this fantasy of her that is not her. But also, that seems to be also their, like, he has initiated that with her, and it seems like she is also, like, reciprocating that flirtatious style.
Yeah.
It seems like it's working for them, which is fine. But also, you know, they had sex, but it was not enjoyable for the both of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, of course, he's, like, now incredibly self-conscious. And so, he's like, I wasn't surprised when you dipped out and were like, I need to go check on Peach, and all this stuff. Here's what I love the most is, he's like, but this is what surprises me. A day later, you didn't even wait a whole day. You texted me, hey Joe, I can't make it in today. Sorry, ! And that exclamation point was the beginning of the end of us. And I made a mistake by writing back, okay, !
You have defeated me.
Yep. I have no power whatsoever.
I'm a weak man.
I just... And of course, right, like, he's still Joe, and so he's still going through her phone and, like, overreading every situation.
Right.
And it's just the grossest thing.
And even, like, that text is less indicative of her being like, oh, I don't want to hang out with you anymore because you cummed 8 seconds into having sex with me. And more of the, she's just a bad employee. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she's just calling out of work anytime she gets. She's like, sorry, I'm sick.
Right, exactly.
Like, she's just playing hooky. She wants to
Yes.
go to emergency therapy and align her chakras, and that's her right, you know?
True. Like, I get it.
Yeah, like, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, same. But there's a point, too, where, you know, he's looking at all this, he's freaking out, and he's being incredibly overdramatic about, like, what he wants to do to himself and his body, and he's like, you know, it's a good thing you knew that I was close to losing my shit. She didn't know. Because then all of a sudden, you know, you wrote back again, Beck, but what are you doing tonight? And so he's like, of course, he reads into this all the more, and so he sets up all this stuff about, like, a meeting at his place at 7. And so he gets 5 whole votive candles and, like, a pizza and makes this huge thing about this being, like, a date night, and we're gonna have sex again, and everything's perfect because we're in love, and we're gonna have this wine, and it'll be amazing. And 10 minutes after when they're supposed to be meeting, Beck texts him and is like, don't hate me, but I have to bail, sad face. And it's Joe. So this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to him.
Yeah. And also she's pulling another instance of her, instead of, I don't know, texting a few minutes beforehand to say you can't go, waits like 20 minutes until after they were already, like, established to hang out. And then being, sorry, something came up. Who fucking raised you, Beth? Beck?
Honestly, yeah.
Were you raised in a barn?
It's a dick move, for sure.
Awful. Fully awful.
But you know what's also a dick move?
Yeah.
Putting Twizzlers in a vase.
That's a crime. That's a federal offense.
That is the scariest thing I've ever heard
He
of.
should be in the Pentagon for that, because that is that's a nightmare. The picture of him with like 40 candelabras behind him and like Phantom of the Opera style, like putting fucking red Twizzlers into a vase is the most haunting and awful thing I've ever visualized in my life.
Well, and you know, like, Twizzlers don't come in those, like, huge-ass, like, plastic things that Red Vines do.
Right.
And so you know it's, like,
Yeah,
it's, like, 8 Twizzlers in a huge vase. So, like, what the fuck, Joseph? And so...
The saddest thing I've ever heard.
It sounds like that Ernest Hemingway, like, 6-word story. 8 untouched Twizzlers in a vase. Like... and so he gets
8
so...
Twizzlers in a vase, never eaten.
Oh my god. And so he's so upset about this, right? Because Beck's being a dick, but also he built up this whole situation in his head about this being like... He made it seem like this was like he was gonna propose... Like, there was nothing here. And so he, like, picks up this Twizzlers vase and throws it at the wall, and it doesn't break, which, like, makes it worse somehow. And so it's just this man with a Twizzler vase on the ground and 60,000 typewriters. And it's just like, what the fuck is your life, Joseph?
Like, I can't believe he wasn't a serial killer before this, because this is just big serial killer energy in general.
Honestly. And so, at the end of this, so he's like, I can't even break a vase, and I lunge the candles, but I don't want to set this place on fire. And so by the end of this chapter, he's like, the smell of burnt flesh overwhelms the cold pizza, and it's a good thing I didn't waste any money on flowers. Joseph, you're the creepiest man.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck? Yeah, I honestly don't know how we have more of, like, 200 pages left of this book, because what it sounds like right now is either that Joseph is gonna, like, crawl inside himself and never go to work again, or he's gonna snap and go and kill her now. Like, I don't know. Who's to say? But we have 2 more chapters next week. Chapters 29 and 30, so we're getting there slowly but surely. We do have a couple of patrons to thank. Do you think we should do a reductress moment? Has it been a minute?
Sure. Let's do a reductress.
Okay.
Okay. Shout out to Sophia Salinger.
Wee wee wee.
Who's gonna be... I don't have to be a mother just because I'm the last Sumatran rhino.
Oh my god. Shout out to Erin Salinger.
Ayo.
Who's gonna be 7 homemade lunches that will have your coworkers asking, wait, is she poor?
Shout out to Alex Blythe.
Wee wee wee.
Who's quiz? Are you an introvert, an extrovert, or a pervert?
Shout out to Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Yes.
Who's gonna be how to suck his dick so hard it makes a kazoo sound.
Oh my god. Shout out to Katie Weber.
Wee.
Who's gonna be, yes, I'm a squirter, but only when I put Mentos and Coke up there.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay, and shout out to Simon Steele.
Yes.
Who's gonna be 5 hand placements on your boyfriend's stomach to make sure everyone knows you own him.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay, I have a fan fiction for you this week that was sent to you and me and us.
Uh-huh. The collective we. And the royal we.
And the real we.
Yeah.
By Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Yeah.
And it is titled Bella's Rage.
Great. Love it.
It was published on November 26th, 2010, and it was written by Danich IX, and this is from the crossover section Animal Crossing and Twilight.
Wow.
So, it stars Tom Nook and Bella. And that's, there you go. All right. Bella woke up one morning lying on the ground in the forest. Her newborn red eyes were gleaming everywhere she looked. Something hit her in the head. It was sticks or leaves or something else. She was blind and very thirsty and very aggressive. "Hi, would you like to buy a house?" said a raccoon, throwing sticks at her. It was very close to her, trying to be annoying. Bella stayed silent, opening her mouth, showing off her new fangs. She was wearing purple skinny jeans. She felt fast and dead. Immortal is what she is now. The raccoon was confused. Bella was walking towards it and wasn't scared. "My name is Tom he began. But Bella bit him in the neck, and he turned purple and fell to the ground. Why wasn't he scared? She has fangs. What else isn't scary? The blindness went away, and she felt better. Looking at the ground, she saw what she had bitten, a raccoon in an apron with a leaf on it. She started to run back to Edward in the woods. End scene.
Huh.
So, that's a series wrap on fucking Tom Nook, I guess.
Fucking wow.
Damn.
Capitalism is dead and Bella kills him.
I know. Apparently Bella has a strong stance on capitalism.
Socialist icon.
Fuck.
Bella's gone.
Oh my god. Well, as we say in Seattle.
Get bit.
And get whipped.
Woo!
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrauseFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.